lot of the attention from RSG, but they need something to complement it a little bit more also for the last two picks.
What I'm thinking now from the side of RSG is now that you're up against a Phoveus, are you going to end up picking a roamer like a Cho or a Ruby that have dashes that the Phoveus can make the most out of? RSG can still go for that if they want to go safer, but it's actually quite unorthodox and it might come back to bite them. They can pick up a Rafaela here because they're going to need that extra movement speed to deal with a carry that Omega just picked up. Now, Omega, great choice on the carry because that is going to be your answer to the eventual just constant beefiness of the Barretts.
Now that we're talking about the Barretts, Omega pick up one hero that is well known to melt beefy ones.
Yeah.
Here's the carry, putting it into the hands of the Filipino Savage, the Shadow Striker, the MSC 2021 MVP, Kelra. Is this going to be okay? Is this going to be good? Because looking at their lineup right now, the Phoveus needs farm, the carry needs farm. It's a little too expensive for Might, especially now that you're sitting at 3-1.
Yeah, like they're going to be spread too thin in terms of the gold and stuff, and I agree with that. And now RSG is actually going to take the Kufra here. So Light is doing that, and I haven't seen Yu Zhang in the longest time. Is this not his first appearance for the playoffs, Renmar?
This is his first appearance for the playoffs. So many times, all the analysts of the playoffs have said, hey, Yu Zhang, but Yu Zhang never got picked until now. But Omega, an Estes.
Wow.
An Estes. Could this be just like growth for Omega that let's channel some of our old rival spirit?
Oh, yeah. You don't have a rival for about a full year and not pick up a trick or two. Channeling the queen himself, oh my Venus, Chakno gets his hands on the Estes for possibly the clutch game. The game that could turn it around for Omega. One more look at the lineup before we get into game number 5. This feels like a dream. What? Chakno playing Estes.
I'm worried, man. I'm worried because, again, if you just have that Necklace of Durance or any type of, cancellation or reduction of the heals and the shields there, it's going to be a disaster because not only for the Estes, but also for the Phoveus.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, they picked it up instantly without hesitation. Estes, that's it. They knew. It's like this is what they wanted. So I wonder what Omega has in store for us.
It's either serendipity or destiny. Let's go into game number 5. This is RSG Philippines at match point up against Smart Omega.
Man, I gotta say, this is gonna be an exciting one because this is something kind of outside of the book, but at the same time, a little bit of comfort here for Smart Omega. So we'll see how they execute it, and I love to see some of these newer picks come out for the first time in the playoffs. Aqua gonna take quite a bit of damage.
Needed to get out of there. Seems like this first Lethal Wanderer will go to the side of RSG. An interesting choice here by Renjo to not pick up the usual Flame Shot battle spell for a Phoveus. Of course, that extra knockback will activate the ultimate for the Phoveus, but he instead picked up that Purify. There are a lot of control abilities on the side of RSG that he needs to worry about.
Yep, not just the inbuilt CC, but Nats on that Petrify. It's been a while since we've seen the usual.
You're kind of surprised when you see him.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally in-game, they're like, oh,
Black Dragon. Oh! And this is going to... I just realized how a nightmare this might be for Omega if they're not careful. Because if they're all clumped up together because they need to stay together to maximize the healing of the Estes, Nats is going to have a field day.
Oh.
Etumax put out a third of his health, but here comes Chakno. So this is what exactly Omega wanted. Like, they want to overextend team fights. They want to be able to call and say, you know what, I'm here, stay. I got ult. But that's a few moments from now because we have Lord coming in 10 seconds.
One thing I like about this, though, is this is, like you guys mentioned, kind of like an evolution of Smart Omega. Like, they are adapting here, being flexible, because I feel like this type of draft will also allow them to have a little bit of a more aggressive early to mid-game, when traditionally Smart Omega is known for the late-game potential here.
And you saw there Emon with his own aggression against Omega's Kelra. Turtle Pit.
And the overturn in the Black Dragon form. Ryzen takes the turtle though, but the members of Omega looking low. Chakno doesn't have the ult quite yet. Ryzen gets out of there. Renzo with a demonic force. Nats tries with the Black Dragon form and holds on to the Petrify. A small skirmish leading to Omega squeezing out, taking that objective.
This is the power, once again, of having the sustain coming out from that Estes pick. Nats could be in trouble here, though.
Etomas, real world manipulation. Nats fights back, knocking up 3, petrifies him as well, buys enough time, shot energy, healing him, topping him up, survives.
What? Wow.
I know, we were all shocked there. I mean, again, that was a situation where you expect Nav to be taken out of the picture, but he actually has the confidence to go 1v3 and be fine.
To quote the great Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake, working with the negatives made for better pictures. He's seen himself in the situation. Again, we said earlier, Nats eats 3v1s, 4v1s for breakfast.
Breakfast came, well, quite late, but he's still having breakfast close to midnight.
It's 11:45.
Midnight.
You know, if you think about it, this started from the signature Thamus play, the Thams.
Yeah.
Nav's on the Thams.
Yep.
It's a tongue twister itself, but I like that's where it started, and it's transitioned to these other heroes.
Oh, check this out. Minimap, Ryzen with the counter jungling. He's taken that orange away from Demon Kite as they spend so much time chipping away at the gold shield up top in the gold lane. Pushing them out. Light gets spotted here by Chuck. And the flicker play, putting him at an inch of his life.
Auto.
Aqua finishes, drawing first blood.
Hey, I feel like Light's learned that from somewhere.
I've seen this.
I've seen this before.
That was a nice play and the nice setup there. And actually, again, that's the follow-up. That's a one auto attack coming out from Aqua to secure the first blood. So you can see that even though it's been kind of a slower early game here, that gold lead is slowly starting to build. Now the turtle's going to be up. They got to be careful.
Half health, Demon Kite chipping away. Members Aqua and Light here,
Ryzen.
but still Ryzen seals it in his face. Nats comes in like the big dragon that he is, demanding their attention. Instead, this incentivizes any further engagement. RSG keeping the lead about 500 gold, yet giving over all turtles still in under 5 minutes.
Ryzen is relentless with getting those turtles to keep Omega close in this game, and that's why that RSG lead is not ballooning as high as 1,000 to 2,000 gold. Great play right now by Ryzen to make sure he secures the turtles for Omega. Let's check out the items for the 2 marksmen. Already the Corrosion Scythe is there for the 1-1. The Wind Talker is up for the carry. That's why Keller dealt a good amount of damage when RSG were pushing the top lane. He actually was able to single-handedly bring Demon Kite down to 50%.
No boots needed on the 1-1. That's
Barefoot
the
1-1.
thing. Yeah. And what happened to the barefoot Nathans, right? They're not. They're
saw
not
Nathan
around
once.
anymore.
We saw Nathan once in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He went back to the future.
Just send them back. We don't want them. But jokes aside, Emon, right? This is exactly his play style, man. He's gonna stay here low key. There is some attention in these lanes, but if you notice, he plays so defensively in this early to mid game, which allows him to get to where he needs to. Now Kelra's a little bit more aggressive. He needs to be.
Oh, it breathed.
Light with the jump in and the ult, and the response by Etomas. Hangman air, taking down Kelra. Crossbow of Tan confirms another kill. 2-0, 6 minutes in. Now ballooning to 1,000 gold ahead. RSG.
Even with the sustain and the heals, not able to survive there. And this is the power. Now Emon doesn't have to stay so low-key. He's got 1 kill early on. Doesn't have boots. He's probably already really close to completing a second item. This is going to be a big advantage for having that 1-1.
We mentioned earlier, Light plays like the Chak Mamba.
Yeah.
He likes to play like Chaknu. And so far, the 2 kills that RSG got were in the back of Light, pulling off a play a la Chaknu. But no, that was a la Light.
Oh, Pixel Brush coming in, catches
Again?
one. Here comes Nats, and they take one out. Ryzen bites it. Air Hangman once more.
Nats!
Renzio goes into the air himself, but he gets popped. Etomas fall, 3 for none so
Come
far.
on.
Plus a
Aqua!
Kelra's looking low, throwing out the umbrella. Aqua pushes them back. They're happy with the 3 for none, plus the turtle now getting 3K ahead.
Wow, I mean, how did, again, with just like the little sliver of health, he survives. The confidence to go in there. We're going to see the replay here. They take this turtle so fast, right? It's going to be secured there. That's a good pickup. Look at the big dam right there, too, just coming out. The crossbow of Tang was popped. early on for that team fight to convert it into a winning situation.
Folks, that was picture perfect. Omega positioned well for that turtle take, for that turtle contest, but RSG read through it. It takes next level split decision making to call. Guys, 3 of us focus on the turtle. Light, he eventually got a 2-man catch there with his ultimate, and then Nas and Aqua to instead focus on the 3 members of Omega were running away. That was Chaknu, Ryzen, and Chaknu Killer and Itomax, if I'm not mistaken. Ryzen's gonna get eaten here.
Another fight goes in, and the moment the real manipulation. Ults left and right. Down goes Ryzen, gets blasted. Demon Guy stomping away. Demonic Force taking down Emon. The shutdown by the
back lane.
And Nat wants to take him down.
Right again.
Chaknu healing him in. Demon Guy takes Captain Etomax along with Ryzen. 2 for 1 so far. RSG winning the exchange. It's not over. Renzio still here. And they reset.
That's okay. Again, this is, I'm a little bit flabbergasted here, boys, because Chaknu is on Estes, and I get the idea. I get it, but it's not allowing the Mamba to do exactly what he needs to do, what he's known for here. He is relying on a lot for Renzio to set up, and Chaknu is there on healing duty, and right now RSG is handling it perfectly.
And again, I go back to my question of why did Omega lock in the Estes right away when they knew they were going up against a Yu Zhong? But we're going to have to find the answer for that later, as there will be a massive Lord fight 9 minutes into the game.
RSG so fast on the uptake, pulling the trigger, starting it up already. They are taking their time though. Demon Kite just stomping away slowly, kiting it as his namesake says, alongside their side. Ryzen pulling back. That's all 5 members in the vicinity. Oh, very, very well played. The discipline. In comes Light. Gets 1. Bouncing ball. Forces it out. Just as it's happening, Etomax still has his real one. Ryzen with the steal! And then as welcome, Air Hangman once more. Emon with the crossbow tank taking out Renzio. Chaknu here getting away with it.
Turnaround.
Etomax real world manipulation. And they're more than happy to take this fight. Light goes down, Ryzen gets him. And they disengage for the first time in game number 5. Omega wins an exchange.
Okay, it's a normal Lord, but that's huge for Smart Omega. Not only did they get the Lord, they close in the gold gap. Now they can convert into a couple turrets. They need the space here. Chaknu there to heal everybody up as they assault the middle lane.
Seems like we're seeing a glimpse of the answer of why the Estes so quickly for Omega. Yes, they had a difficult time there in the early game, but as we reached the mid game, Nas once again made it all the way to the back, and it seemed like he would single-handedly take down 3 members of Omega, but it seemed like the damage is starting to fall off as Omega is starting to get tankier in the back line, and as the heals are getting so much better on the Estes of Chaknu.
Oh man, OMG made the most of that win, and they are turning the map red. Light, they have been gotten out. Demonic Force set in. Where's the damage coming from? Etomax gets the punish. Black Dragon formed by Nats. Caught. Backline. Display.
Trouble.
And they get a push in bottom lane. Ryzen, can they get him? Oh, Etomax again with the real world manipulation. Omega may have found their stride.
This is exactly what they had to do. They make a normal Lord work for them. They grab the turrets. Look at the gold lead now. It's pretty much gone. And at one point, that was almost 5,000 gold. Let's take a look at the items.
Athena shield for Chaknu and the anti-Karas as well. Itomax, Ice Queen wand with the glowing wand. And who else is in the backline? Kelra already has the 3 main core items you'd want to get as a carry with the Windtalker, the Berserker's Fury, and the Scarlet Phantom. And yes, the answer is clear. The healing of the Estes, 2 team fights in a row, 2 crucial team fights in a row, are keeping Omega in this game. They're waiting for more burst. They're waiting for more damage. They have those tools. They have what they need. But again, it goes back to the bare minimum of this game. Execution. That's in this grand finals, to say that that's a bare minimum, just execute better than the opposing team. Earlier it was RSG, now it's Omega executing better. Will RSG respond, or will Omega force another game?
Man, it's just, I feel like at this point, even despite the kill difference here, Smart Omega has found that minor weak link in the armor of RSG, and they are showing it in their team fights here. Again, Chaknu able to sustain the team, and right now Renzio's feeling a lot more confident on this Phobius to be that front line here because he knows Kelra has the damage available. Now the Lord comes up. This is going to be crucial for whatever team decides to take it and give it the go signal. And don't forget, Demon Kite has great records on stealing Lords from teams.
Yeah, well, you can say the same thing about Ryzen too.
Yeah,
in this
true.
best of 7 alone, right? In this best of 7 alone, RSG looking to play that River Bush Gambit, showing Eman just a wee bit while the rest of RSG wait in that western bush. They let go, now it's turned into a full-on Lord fight.
They're going
Lord,
for it.
Luminous Lord at less than half health. Here comes that, starting up with a black dragon form, pushing away the possible fire back from Omega. Lord now out of fifth,
Nats.
going in for the petrify,
knock-up!
and the knock-up and the stun. Keller takes him down, Lord just standing. Dennis welcome cancelled in. Keller taken out by Aqua. They're jumping. Demonic Force.
Open Ryzen again!
Steals it in the face of RSG. Renzio still alive. Gets popped 2K for Aqua, and it's a trade 2 for 2. But the Lord still taken by Omega.
Huge pickup, and as you said, Leo, man, Ryzen has done it before and he just did it again. And now Smart Omega finds life in here for this game number 5.
Ryzen to the occasion. Let's break down what happened there. Nas immediately going for the dragon form just to already force back Omega. Beautiful knockup he'll get there, but let's go back to the Lord. Ryzen biting, waiting for his time. Just narrowly missed or avoided the dodge there. Winter Truncheon to stay alive and cancel the ultimate, the Detonus welcome. That's why he was able to stay there long enough to win the Retribution battle to secure that crucial Lord. Ryzen does not want to give up on Omega. Ryzen wants to continue the series.
And right now, again, they still have the push here. The potential is here for Smart Omega. They're going to center around this Lord. It's going to charge up now, opening the base.
Nats with defensive, preemptive Black Dragon form. Going to quell this assault, this siege by Omega. Cancelled out and throughout this whole affair. The past 4 or 5 minutes that Omega have found their stride, put themselves in the driver's seat. RSG still has that biological lead. But it doesn't mean anything, honestly, because OMG, they walked away with a Lord, both of them so far, and these small engagements, these small exchanges, they're slowly building up the value.
Yeah, and what I'm wondering too is now Light picking up some key items here. I believe he just picked up the Radiant Armor, so this is a ton of magic damage on the side of Smart Omega, but also, even if you have that, man, you have Kelra on that carry, just taking care of these tanky heroes they decided to draft. You know, the Barretts, the Kufra, even that Yu Zhang doesn't last very long when there's a carry on the opposite side.
RSG are pushing forward. It'll be risky if they actually go for this. I think that it's just a bit of a heat check between these two teams. Although Light is in a position, Omega don't look like they're going to fall for the bait. Kelra has the wind of nature, hence why he's able to survive long enough every time Nas would go to the back line. Now, what's going to happen here for RSG is that they need to find in that picture-perfect start, wherein usually we've been seeing Nas, of course, going to the back line of Omega, splitting the attention of the fight, but it needs to be like one big fight with everyone clumped up together. Because when all the members of Omega are together, not split up, RSG have the lineup to just completely burst them down and destroy them. But this is a credit to how Omega are playing. They know that they can stick together. What they're doing is they're leaving Chaknu onto E2max and Kelra, while Renjo and Ryzen are the ones in the front line doing the dirty work. The key damage dealers of Omega are staying alive and being washed out by Chaknu. And time again, Nas is the only one there. So now RSG needs to make it a total team effort to catch Kelra, to catch E2max, and to catch the entire Omega squad.
Yeah, and right now, Lord going to be for the taking. The team that decides to give this a go will have this big advantage for this game number 5. No one want to give it a go just yet, but it's about to start up here. Does Smart Omega actually commit to this? Because Demon Kite's right around the corner with the rest of the team. Again, Aqua has not died yet. It's going to be a little soft reset here on the Lord. No one going to commit just yet. Ryzen going to start it up. RSG. There's a lot relying on this one, as the base is going to be fine for RSG. we'll see if a team actually decides to go for the Lord.
Surprised to say this isn't even a steal by Ryzen. Omega have earned this Lord. They dealt the damage, they kited it to their side, and they are committing. Now it's up to RSG to go for the counterplay. Light with a conceal catches a few light wheels from Kelra, and they're still going. Ventna's welcome cancels again by the winner crunch, bro! And they're waiting, Demonic Force. That's Eman going in there.
Tang.
Raise it down.
And finally, RSG have found a window. Eman still goes Nats, the first one to go down. Aqua takes the Lord. Shaknu falls as well. It's 2K so far, and they're trading. Light falls this time around.
Eman's here.
Epilogue still swiping away, tapping away, and now it's a 3K for Eman. It's just Etomax and Taylor standing. RSG are swimming in it.
Big pickup, and this is now the strength of this 1-1 pick. The Lord going to be marching up top. RSG taking control.
They might not be able to end it right here, but RSG will do their best to strip down the base of Omega, to remove the hopes of Omega. That's an inhibitor down, and RSG, yes, they can't end it here, but now they have the definitive control in this game. What is now the question or the answer for Omega to retain this? This time around, RSG, it wasn't the picture-perfect, everyone clumped up together scenario, but this time, RSG adjusted to what happened in their previous attempt at the Lord. It looked like deja vu. It happened again because Ryzen, once again, was able to avoid the Detonus Welcome by using the Winter Truncheon, but this time around, the difference maker was at Aqua. Aqua was there ready because we've seen before, Kaguras being able to steal Lords this late into the game, and Aqua secured that Lord incredibly well.
Man, Aqua, once again, has not died this game, right? The decision-making that he's doing is just on point. Like you said, Renmar, he's playing. Sometimes he's just putting out the vision with the umbrella, and sometimes there's so much threat caused by that yin-yang overturn available to him. And again, Demon Kite showing just how versatile of a jungler he is. Look at the 70% win rate for RSG. Smart Omega is not out of this game yet. They still have the right tools, itemization to fight again, because most likely it's going to be in the next minute when that next Lord comes up.
Yeah, if Kelra can stay alive long enough in a fight to just freely hit, he will be the guy to bring Omega back into this game.
So far, RSG have managed to overload and outmatch Omega on almost all fronts. Comes down to DPS, you got Eman. Comes down to CC, you got Nats. Comes down to Burst, there's Aqua. We all were just talking about those things and those concepts. And yeah, in the earlier parts of the game, after 2 Lords, we could have sworn and said that Omega had this in the bag. They were in the driver's seat, but it looks like RSG have raided said vehicle and are again steering it towards an inevitable win.
At this point, like I said, when that reduction healing comes out, the items, the itemization that RSG has, it's going to make it a little bit harder here for Chaknoon to heal everybody up. It's going to make it a little bit harder for Renzio to actually survive those fights, especially the crossbow of Tang, like we saw from the previous fight. So this is going to be another opportunity for RSG to go full-on fight with Smart Omega now that they have that 4K gold lead. This is the 20-minute mark, so it doesn't matter as much.
Oh, Lord already started up. Now it's this time on the side of RSG. They have kited it over there. Ryzen stepping into that pixel brush. Light and Nats occupying this Western River bush. Let's see Chaknu.
Positioning is key here. No one can misstep. No one can step forward a little bit too early. One misstep, one mistake, that will be it.
Lord here, approaching half health.
Yeah, they're gonna actually, no one, I feel like they're just waiting for the moment here. Demon Kite doing his best to keep the Lord there, but I'm not sure if they're actually gonna give a go signal for this, as the rest of RSG is waiting in that bush.
That was an interesting interaction. The eye from Renzio knocked up Demon Kite or pulled him towards him, but they are not just yet giving up the ults. Look at all the greens on the side of Omega. Look at all the greens on the side of RSG. And just like that, Lord gets hard reset once more.
The tension in this Lord pit is, you can see it. It's apparent here on the screen and even in the audience right now.
Redmar can smell it.
I can smell it. Light almost got Renjo there. That would have been disastrous.
Oh,
Winter Truncheon forced.
Tit for tat. Once more. That is welcome. Chaknu setting up a heal for Ryzen as well. This is the weakest Lord has been. This is the lowest his health has been in this Lord dance so far, initiated by both teams. And Light stretching up. From the back line, and they take out and shut down the Eve, and that's going to hunt for heads.
Tang.
All in, plus a Petrify. He does suffer a few hits. He's still alive. The Shadow Striker takes him down. Demon Kite takes the Lord. This is a 22-minute Lord, and they're still going.
Ryzen still up.
Immortality onto Evan.
Right.
Bouncing ball, keeping him in place. That's 2 down, traded away for 1, plus that Lord. RSG 6K ahead. They are going to go for this. They are going to take their time. Watch Lord march down mid.
What a big pickup here.
One play, one catch, one great call, and it seems like we're on the way to glory, glory, RSG. Can they capture their first championship within the next minute?
Light stretching up once more. Catch Enzio.
Avoided.
There's the Purify and the heal by Chaknu. They are going for this. The base
They're able to defend.
Is inevitable. They take down the Lord.
back.
Clear out all the waves. And the Barangay Omega still breathing. The Kings of Ste keeping their heads above water.
Man, oh man, do we have a game here despite what just happened. Smart Omega able to stay in the game. They still have an inhibitor turret alive for their base, and they're going to most likely bring it to another Lord fight. This is huge. They have to watch out for Light, though, as he has found time after time moments.
That's a catch!
Another one! Gets taken down! The answer back by Etomax, pushing away the rest of RSG, but it's only a matter of time. They have the man advantage. A minute that the showstopper is down. The show might be over for Barangay Omega. All
They defend.
are down. 4 defenders from Omega. They'll have to defend like they never have before. Ryzen gonna get punched here. Hangman. Eman goes into the skies. Taking down Ryzen. Taking down Chaknu. It's just the 2 of them left. Another one. It's just so hard to beat RSG.